Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're in the beautiful Dalat, Vietnam.
We are extremely excited to be in Dalat because we're in a different region now. We're in the Lam Dang province, which is in Vietnam's central highlands. We're in the mountains, which means that the temperatures are a lot lower. Apparently this is also called the City of Eternal Spring. This used to be a resort that was created by the French in the 1900s. So I'm very curious to see what it's like. It seems a lot different than Ho Chi Minh City. I'm excited to see what we can explore here and what we can eat here. So let's go.
Being located in the Central Highlands, it means that Dalat is known for a lot of different produce. They grow vegetables here, they grow fruits, and they also grow coffee. Most Vietnamese coffee is usually made with Robusta beans, which is why it is so strong. But here in Dalat, they grow both Robusta bean and Arabica beans. And so we came to a place called Q Coffee Roastery to get some of their coffee. And this looks absolutely incredible. I got a drip coffee, their own Arabica blend. It's actually dripping right now, and I'm gonna put it on ice once it's done. It looks like it's just about finished, and I cannot wait to try this. It smells absolutely incredible, and this location is just so beautiful too.
Since we came to this beautiful specialist roastery, I decided I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna have some coffee too. I don't usually drink coffee, but I like coffee chocolate, so I got a mocha. I think that's chocolate and coffee, and maybe on the sweeter side. I'm not sure. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I can handle it, but I'll have to.
Knowing Anya, probably not.
Oh, it's not sweet. It tastes very nutty, kind of bitter, but I don't really know how it's a mocha. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I don't know coffee. Oh well. But we have wonderful almond cakes. They look more like cookies or shortbread. Maybe if I mix them with my coffee, then I can handle it. They're a bit dry, but they taste very almondy actually. I like that. They're definitely gonna go well with the coffee. They taste a little bit like shortbread. Pretty good.
My coffee has finished dripping. It's nice and hot, but I'm gonna cool it off with this nice chili ice. Oh, this smells so good. I'm not gonna put anything else in this. I'm just gonna try it straight up as it is. Oh, that is so good. That is so strong. Typically, when I come to Vietnam, I get Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk, all those things, but this is a nice change because it's not nearly as sweet. Obviously, it's much more bitter. It has this nice smoky taste. Oh, and it's just like lingers on my tongue. It's so bitter. Sometimes it's just nice to have a change from that strong, Robusta condensed milk coffee to something more light. This is perfect.
Something we really love about Dalat so far is that there are all these tiny little streets that look completely unassuming, and you wouldn't really walk down them because you think that there are only people living there, it's only people's houses, but when you do actually walk down them, there are restaurants and cafes like this and bars, really cool looking bars. So no matter where you walk, especially in the tiny little streets, you'll always find something really cool to explore, really cool places like this one, really relaxing, and decorated in a really unique way. And yeah, it's so nice. I love it. So relaxing and beautiful.
When Anya told me that she was gonna get a mocha, I already knew that it was gonna be a bad decision because anytime she tries to experiment, she always ends up with something that she doesn't like so much. So I guess I'm gonna be drinking 2 coffees, so I'll probably have a heart attack after this, but I bet this is gonna be delicious.
I think I just have to try. I want to learn how to like coffee.
Oh, I love this actually. This is definitely more my cup of tea, but this is delicious as well, and I will happily drink both of these.
Do you think this tastes like a mocha though? Like what you would expect?
I would usually think that a mocha is a little bit more chocolate forward than this. This is quite bitter, not sweet at all. But then again, I don't order mochas either, so I'm not really sure what to expect.
So I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, maybe. But as you said, this cookie is a little bit dry, but paired with coffee, delicious.
And I think maybe the fact that my drink is not very sweet is actually a bonus point because this is a real roastery, a real coffee place. I was kind of going for a Starbucks drink with like 10 million syrups. I think that's what a lot of people in North America do. And They claim they like coffee, but I don't know if they actually do. But here, you don't get basic bitch drinks like that. You get real coffee. And I'm gonna drink it. Because I'm a real coffee drinker now too.
We actually came to this area to go to a different coffee shop originally, which is supposed to serve black garlic coffee, but it didn't exist. I feel like the location that they have on Google Maps is completely wrong. It's somewhere totally different in the city, so we're probably gonna try to go there at some point while we're here, but luckily I had this as a backup, and I'm glad that we came here because this coffee is absolutely incredible. But I think it's time to go get some food.
So we were just on the way to the restaurant where we were gonna eat, but unfortunately it's closed. So now we're gonna have to figure out something else. But in the meantime, we decided to make a stop at the Linh Pagoda. This is a Buddhist temple and it was finished in 1940. So it is quite old. It's super pretty. There's nobody here apart from us and a couple children. Yeah, it's so peaceful and nice. It's free to get into and this pagoda is beautiful. I love it. You can sit here and relax. But Brandon is being chased by a bee because he is a sweet flower.
For breakfast, we decided to get ourselves a local specialty, and this is Bánh Mì siu mai. Now, as you can see, it is a type of bánh mì, and it comes with these little meatballs, which I guess are the siu mai. Normally, I associate siu mai with those little dumplings, Chinese dumplings, but I guess it also just means meatball. And this is something I've heard you have to try for breakfast here. So let's rip open our bánh mì. Oh, and dip it into this broth. Oh, wow. That is incredibly flavorful already. That's actually shocking. I dipped it in thinking like, oh, it just looks like some basic broth. That packs a punch, wow. But obviously you order this for the meatballs, not just the broth. So, got myself a spoon. Ooh, the meatballs are really soft. They look like pork meatballs. They asked us if we wanted to order one or two, and I know that we have to eat some other things today, so we just said one, but I regret it already. I really regret it. This is phenomenal, really good.
I'm not really sure what this place is called because I think there are a couple of different ones here. I don't know. We meant to come to Quan Han Hong Hao, but maybe this is a different stand? I don't know. As long as it's tasty, it doesn't really matter.
This was actually the stand I originally had marked before I found the other place that was closed. Because that place was closer to things we were meant to do. Right?
That's so delicious. The meatball is really soft, but really yummy. There's nothing weird inside the meatball, like nothing crunchy or anything. It's just a perfect stewed, kind of sweet meatball. And the sauce is just so good. I've never really had a bánh mì like this before because it's not a sandwich. It's like Vietnamese meatballs. It's really good. I love it.
This type of bánh mì is nice and toasty. It's nice and warm. So it's kind of perfect for this moderate climate here in Dalat. But unfortunately today is actually pretty hot. So maybe not the perfect dish for today, but this is absolutely delicious. I actually ordered a similar siu mai dish in Ho Chi Minh, but the meatball was like fish or something. So I was expecting this to be a little bit different. And this is 10 times better than that. This is incredible.
This dish is so much better than I thought it would be. We watched a couple of people eat this on YouTube and I don't know if I believed whether they actually liked it, but this is delicious. It almost reminds me a little bit of something you would get in Europe because we have like meatball stews and stuff like that, and that's what it tastes like, all porky and delicious. The sauce is so good, or like broth. It's so flavorful. We now came to the Dalat Market, This market was established by the French in the early 20th century, and they have a lot of different things. They apparently have wool articles and produce and food and everything. I'm excited to see.
But I'm here for the souvenirs. Pretty much anytime we go to a new country, I always buy my dad a shot glass, and I want to buy my mom something here as well. So let's see what they have. It seems like this market is divided into different sections depending on which floor you're on. The one that we entered in was selling only clothing, and then we crossed this little bridge into another section which was selling only shoes and hair accessories. So hopefully they have a section that sells more souvenirs and foods.
There are little signs that tell you what the section is, but it's all Vietnamese, so we'll just have to go hunting. There's even a food court here with a lot of different stands that sell different things, and you can sit here and have a meal and have a drink. Pretty cool. Dalat is not supposed to get that hot, and we're actually here during the rainy season, but today is roasting. I am so hot, so we decided to have a minute and drink something, and we got some blended strawberry juice or smoothie. Dalat and this region is actually famous for strawberries. There are little stalls outside, and they all sell strawberry cups. We're actually going to try those in our food video, which is going to be next, so make sure to subscribe and watch that. But I'm excited to taste these strawberries for the first time. Ooh, this tastes so much like strawberry. This is delicious, and it tastes natural, I would say. It kind of tastes like milky strawberry jam.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I feel like I very rarely have just a strawberry smoothie. It's always strawberry and banana or strawberry and kiwi or strawberry and whatever. So I'm excited for this. Ugh. Just like Anya said, this tastes like strawberry jam blended up. I'd be very surprised if this didn't have a big dollop of condensed milk in it because it's very, very sweet. Actually, they are known for making jam here in Dalat. So maybe it has strawberry jam and frozen strawberries in it.
You can usually ask for no sugar whenever you get drinks or coffee, but I always forget. And then a lot of times it's quite sweet. I do love this though, because it just tastes like jam. I don't feel like it tastes fake. But yeah, if you don't want a lot of sugar or if you're diabetic or something, make sure to ask people whenever they make you drinks for no sugar, because they can definitely do it. And then it's usually perfect for us.
What did you buy?
Bought a wallet because I melted my old one with some insect repellent. So now I have a new wallet, and I also got a new bag because I also melted my bag with insect repellent. So, and this was $6. I don't know if that's good, but I didn't even have to haggle. She gave me a discount anyway. So I'm gonna put my first 50,000 Vietnamese dong in my new wallet.
What are you gonna buy with it?
I don't know. I could buy a whole meal with that.
Ooh. But this market and Dalat in general is known for secondhand clothing, and there's so many different shops here selling clothing and shoes and everything else. Honestly, I'm not really sure that I'm going to be able to find any kind of souvenirs besides wool or silk and clothing souvenirs, but this market is still cool and it is massive.
It's gigantic, and I feel like that's why we're maybe not finding the souvenirs. We also don't want to go search forever, but yeah, this is pretty cool. If you need clothes, you need to come here. And I know what I'm going to buy with my money. What? An alcoholic drink.
Ooh. One thing that this market is known for is dried fruits and dried vegetables. There is an entire floor dedicated to just dried food items. Like, everybody's selling the exact same thing. So I'm not sure which stall is the best, but if you want to come here and try some snacks, this is also a good place for that. One of the main reasons to come here to Dalat would have to be the nature. It's absolutely beautiful here. There are rolling green hills everywhere, lots of trees, there's waterfalls, but it's kind of hard to appreciate that in the center of the city. So we actually came to Robin Hill, where you can get a cable car and go further up into the hills or into the mountains, and you can get a beautiful panoramic view of the city. So let's go do that.
Before you go on the cable car, there's actually already an amazing view because there's this viewpoint here, and yeah, it's just beautiful. There's all these flowers, they have these weird vegetable people over there, and it's just really dreamy, and we have the perfect weather right now. I really hope it's gonna stay this way. There's even, I think, dragonflies flying around. So nice. We made it! I'm so excited. We have the cable car all to ourselves, which is amazing. It's like a dream come true because a lot of the time I feel like they have cable cars with 20 people in them, but it's just us. So romantic.
This is absolutely beautiful and 100% worth the price. I think it was what, 150,000 dong return, which is like, what, $6?
Yeah.
So that's so cheap. I feel like the last time we did something like this was maybe in Switzerland.
Yeah.
And that was also incredible. I feel like anytime you can take a cable car like this, obviously you have to. Like, look at these views. It's insane.
At the top of the mountain, there's the Trúc Zen Monastery, where we came to. It's beautiful. There's all these flowers and beautiful buildings, and it's free. And apparently this was built in 1993 because the Vietnamese government wanted to restore Zen Buddhism. And you can stay here and learn about Buddhism.
Isn't it Zen?
And you can stay here and learn about Buddhism, and I think you have to ask the monks and the nuns how it works. That's what I read in an article. I don't know how it works, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's beautiful. It's not that Zen though, because there's a lot of loud people here.
A lot of Vietnamese aunties yelling and screaming. And dogs barking.
But there's a lake right there, and it looks very beautiful. What do you think about this monastery?
I think that despite the crowds and the screaming aunties and children running around and stuff, this place is absolutely stunning. It is so beautiful here. All the little pagodas and the little temples. There's so many beautiful flowers everywhere. Obviously, Dalat is known as the city of flowers, and you can definitely see it here. Just being out of the city, getting a little break away from that is just really nice. And obviously we spent over a month in Ho Chi Minh before this. So this is like so zen, so peaceful, and obviously like 100 times worth it. Like, we paid $6 to come up here and get that cable car. Definitely a must do if you're here in Dalat.
I definitely agree, and I think in general we're more mountain people than maybe ocean people. We really love the mountains and hills and fresh air, and that's what you get here. That's why I really love Dalat, and I really love this little day trip.
Yeah, I would say Dalat is easily becoming one of our favorite places in all of Vietnam, just because of that. It's stunning, it's so underrated. If you come to Vietnam, make sure you put Dalat on your Vietnam bucket list.
we decided to take a little break at the cafe at the top of the mountain. And I got a matcha latte and Brandon got a coconut iced coffee. And we have this beautiful view here of the trees and the cable car and everything. So nice.
We are now at the new Alpine coaster, number 3, which is one of the main attractions here in Dalat. It's only like a 2-minute ride from the monastery, and as soon as we heard about this, we could not pass it up. I think it's like 2,400 meters long, and it is the longest Alpine coaster in all of Asia. So we cannot wait to do this.
We got our tickets, and it's 250,000 per person for a return because you go down and then you go back up. So yeah, $10. Let's see if it's worth it.
We're on the coaster!
Yay!
This is crazy. You can go like 40 miles per hour on this thing. So you can't go too slow, or you can't go too fast. This is ridiculous. This is much more crazy than the one we went to in Switzerland, that's for sure.
Now we have to start going slow because there's somebody in front of us.
That was ridiculous. I don't like that you have to like worry about the other people though, because I was like, oh my god, we're gonna hit somebody. No, the people behind us are gonna hit us.
That's why I didn't want to go by myself because I feel like I'm not good at driving anything. So yeah, I'm traumatized from going go-karting once.
Should we slam into the person ahead of us? Just kidding.
It says, do not crash sled in front.
I mean, I would hope that's common sense, but... Oh, look. There's one of the waterfalls.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the waterfall down there. Apparently, there's 3 waterfalls that you pass by on this ride. And, yeah, it's beautiful. But it's so fast that you can barely see what's going on.
I know. I'm more so concentrating on, not hitting the person ahead of us and not getting hit from behind. But I love this, though.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Look at this angle. Flip it around.
This is scary.
This is like freaking 45-degree incline.
It feels like a lot more than 45 degrees.
Look, there's automatic photography. Make sure you pose.
So now we're on the second part. It said brag. Are you looking at the signs? That says like...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Fuck out.
Because there's road signs on this. And I don't know if Brandon's paying attention. Oh my God! Woo! This is scary.
Oh my god, this is where it's a break. Now go!
Do people die on this?
Let's hope not today. These sounds?
I don't like the sounds of this. I'm crying.
This is a break. There you go, I broke.
Slow. I think we made it. I'm crying from the wind. So halfway through the ride, you actually get off and you get to walk around the waterfalls, and it's super pretty. There's all these flowers and benches, and there's even like a little cafe, I think. And yeah, the ride was really scary. I don't know if the second part is going to be scary. But this is really nice to relax in nature. And they also have a zip line here, but that costs extra money. waiting to get back onto the Alpine coaster because you have to stand in line and the line is so long.
It's taking forever.
We decided to go separate this time because we realized that we might be a bit too heavy for these together. So we rather want to be safe. And now I'm terrified because I might die because I don't know how to drive these.
We had an absolute blast at the Alpine coaster. 100% worth the $10 that we paid, but do not make the same mistake as us. We left too late. We came back to go to the cable car and it is closed. It closes at like 4:45 or 5 o'clock and it is like 5:30 now. So if you are gonna come here, make sure you start your day a lot earlier. But in general, if you were thinking about doing this, you do not need a private car. You can get grabs to the cable car, from the cable car to the coaster back. Easy to find grabs. So make sure that you come and do this because it is so much fun.
As Brandon said, luckily it's really easy to get grabs here. So we're just waiting for our grab to come and take us down the mountain. Unfortunately, we're not going to see the cable car again or the nice views, which is really sad. But oh well. But now we're going to go eat because we're starving. We haven't really eaten at all today almost. So let's get this grab and let's eat. After a long day of exploring, we actually decided to hit up a bar first before we're going to eat our dinner. We came to Maze Bar, which is, I think, quite touristy, but it looks super cool. It's basically a labyrinth, that's why it's called Maze. And the drinks aren't very expensive either. And it has all these little bits and bobs, I don't know, it just looks super cool. It's like a cave inside, I think. I don't know, do you know anything about this?
No, not really, but there used to be a bar in Berlin called Labyrinth, right? And it used to be something very similar to this. So I guess you kind of just work your way through the bar. You start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. There's all these like wood carvings and all these weird little knickknacks on his head and artwork. I don't know. Obviously very touristy, but it seems really cool. So let's go.
I got some rum on ice for, what was it, 50,000? It was technically a little bit, it's called a glass. I don't know how it's a glass, but cheers. Oh, it tastes very sweet actually, but quite boozy, I like it.
And I got myself some whiskey, a glass of whiskey. I think this was like 65 or 70.
I think it was 75 euros.
75, okay, so a little bit more expensive, about $3. Ugh. But it is strong, obviously. It's just a pure, massive glass of whiskey, so not a bad deal.
It can't be very big here though. Oh my god, there's like a tiny door.
All right, time to make our way through this maze. Oh my god, it is so tight. There's all these faces etched onto the wall. There's this tiny doorway. Oh, I hit my head. Hey.
Hi, this is so cool. There's these really creepy faces everywhere. If you're squeamish and stuff, and maybe if you come here a little later in the day, then it might be very scary.
I know, imagine doing this at night. I'm already like bumping into things and hitting my head on the wall.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like at night. Is it like a party bar at night?
I think so.
Full with people? That would be so weird.
I mean, this definitely is a touristy spot. I think there's only Western people here right now, so.
But it's so cool, and it's all obviously handmade. This is crazy.
We found the Kraken.
Yeah, I think this part is kind of underwater.
Yeah, there's like a giant crab, giant octopus.
It's like under the sea.
We're now in the green room.
There's all these little nooks and crannies where you can sit and hide. And this definitely reminds me of something you would find in Berlin. And maybe you would go pretty crazy there and party. That's what this kind of place seems like. I really like it.
Yeah, imagine there was like music blasting and there was a bunch of people in here. This would be crazy. It would definitely feel like a Berlin club.
Or this kind of place where you go like after hours and stuff.
We made it, and now we have this beautiful view of the city.
That was much more of a labyrinth than I thought. There was all these different directions. I'm sure we didn't even see everything. Crazy. You should definitely not get wasted in there because you're gonna die, probably. Falling downstairs.
I don't care that this bar is super touristy. It is so fun, and as we mentioned, it completely reminds me of something that would be in Berlin. And not to mention, after you go through this whole labyrinth, you end up here up top with this beautiful rooftop view. And also the drinks aren't even that expensive. So 100% recommend coming here if you come to Dalat, because I think it's totally worth it.
So since we're very cost efficient, we decided to buy a bottle of rum here. Because a bottle is only 350,000, which is like $13, and a glass, which is like this much, is 60, I think, right? Or 50? So it just doesn't make sense. It just totally makes sense to buy a whole bottle. And I asked her if we can bring it home after. She said, okay. So we're gonna have a bottle of rum. No, we're just gonna have a drink and then take it home.
Let's get lit!
We are now going to try a dish called nướng, which looks incredible. We've actually had this before, but the spread definitely did not look like this. This looks absolutely insane. You have all these fresh herbs. It's served with rice paper, pork, these little fried pieces of rice paper, and all these different pickled vegetables as well. I cannot wait to try this. I think this dish is actually popular in other regions as well, but in Dalat it is a specialty, so let's try this. It also comes with this sauce that is also particular to Dalat, but I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest. I thought that it was gonna be a peanut sauce, but it definitely is not. So let's make a roll. So I have my paper. I'm gonna get myself some lettuce, maybe this is perilla leaf. Let's get some cucumber, some daikon, a piece of pork, and one of these wrappers. Now, this is probably too much for one roll, but I'm gonna roll it up anyways. And let's try it. This is by far the best version of this that I have ever had. Wow. The pork is so juicy and you have that nice charcoal kind of grilled taste. But these little rice papers, these fried rice paper rolls, are so crispy. They give it a nice crunch. And then obviously you have the freshness from the vegetables and the herbs. This is basically the perfect Vietnamese dish. I love this so much.
This rice paper is really thick. It's like leather. What I really love is how many herbs you get in Vietnamese cuisine. Like, this is a humongous plate, and it kind of forces you to be really healthy. Put loads of herbs in.
And that's the problem with Vietnamese food outside of Vietnam, is that they never give you this amount of fresh herbs because it's kind of expensive, I guess.
You get like 2 little leaves of basil or something.
And here, they give you this whole basket.
And this plate reminds me of Hungarian pickled vegetables, right?
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
Which I really love. So crunchy.
I know, right?
This is a perfect combo. Those pickled vegetables and the sweet pork just taste so delicious. It's almost like a sweet jerky or something.
Yeah, totally.
And then you have the herbs and the sauce is delicious. I don't know what it tastes like, to be honest. It's not fishy, right? It's delicious. That's all I know. And I really like the stick paper. Yeah, this is divine. And we poisoned ourselves a little bit with alcohol, and now we're basically making it better with a lot of fresh food.
I also love any Vietnamese dish where you can kind of build your own bite. There's a lot of different dishes like that, like especially banh xeo, like central banh xeo. You would always wrap it in a rice paper roll like this. But this is even better, especially like the selection of fresh herbs and pickled vegetables. And then you have that crunchy rice paper. It's just perfect. Like, I love this so much. And I cannot wait to dig in and devour this entire thing. Although, this is a ton of food, especially for 120K. This is insane.
I think this is Vietnamese food at its finest, because when I think about Vietnamese food, I think about herbs. And this is just so fresh, so herby, so delicious. I honestly think this is probably one of my favorite dishes in Vietnam, especially when you get it fresh like this. It reminds me of bánh xèo in Hanoi, because you get the wrappers, and it's better because I feel like it's less greasy. It's just so delicious. It feels so fresh. It feels so healthy, although maybe the pork has some fat and stuff, but the pickled vegetables, the herbs, the rice paper, it seems so fresh and delicious. It's my favorite. I love it. This is the end of the video. We had an amazing day in Dalat today, and I think we both agree that Dalat is just a fantastic city. If we could stay here for a few months, we totally would. We actually extended our hotel for 5 more days. We were going to stay here for 10 days, but now we're going to stay for 15 because it's just too good. We love the vibe and the weather here. And the restaurant at the end was also amazing. We were originally going to go to a different restaurant for the same dish, but it was closed. So I think we were really lucky, because there's no way on earth that there's another restaurant that serves this dish just as amazingly as this one. It was just the best. So if you come to Dalat, you definitely have to go there. It was divine.
But if you did like this video, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for this one. We will see you all in the next one.